the Galana River, which is a river that passes right through the Tsavo ecosystem. The injured elephant is just in the bushes behind me. He's moved over there just in the last few minutes. We can't dart him now because he'll fall over, he'll probably land in the water, he could drown, and we wouldn't be able to get to him anyway. This river is full of crocodiles and hippopotamus. But we now know that he's one of at least 2 elephants that were shot in the last 3 days, and there may be others. This elephant is really hidden in the grass. He's not coming out. He seems to be really avoiding getting caught by us. There's a whole bunch of KWS people here. There's lots of guns. The aircraft is going to buzz the elephant. Hopefully the elephant will come rushing out. A thunder flash will be thrown at him. Lots of noise will be made. And we're hoping that will force him to run back across the river so that we can actually dart him on the other side. That was a thunder flash. This elephant is Kichangumu.
Yeah. I think that is the safest place for that elephant. And kutoka hapo ni ngumu sana.
So what will we do?
Now we'll just try our level best. If it's not possible to remove him now, and we try another day. Probably tomorrow.
Richard, tell me about the gunshot wound on this elephant. It just looks like a tiny little hole. What kind of a gun would have produced that hole? Do you think it's one bullet or several? What do you think actually happened there?
I can only see one bullet in it, in the body, and I would say it's an AK-47, being the most common used in illegal activity for elephant poaching. I think if it had been a heavier caliber weapon, the elephant would not be standing, it would be down. The fact that 6 gunshots were reported, rapid gunshots were reported, that's also a indication that an automatic weapon had been used and not a single bolt action weapon.
What kind of distance do you think somebody would have shot him at?
Probably the same distance we're at now, 25 meters.
And only one bullet made it?
Only one bullet made it, yeah.
Why wouldn't they go for the head? Why would they go for a body shot?
Probably inexperienced poachers. Was the animal moving away from where they were standing? There are many aspects that could have attributed to a body, upper abdominal shot rather than a headshot.
The KWS vehicle is driving up to the elephant. He's still standing very calmly, 3 legs on the ground, 1 leg. Perfect shot, right on the rump of the elephant. We can see the orange flag has come out.
So what I'm doing is I've cleaned the wound, I've put some antibiotics on the wound to keep out the bacteria, and also now I'm injecting the systemic antibiotics and also some painkillers to relieve the pain. After this, what we're going to do is turn around the elephant. We're going to tie the legs and try to pull him over. Then we can check on the other side how deep the wound is, if it's there. And I hope we get the same wound as this one. Wound might have been a true wound, as in from one side of the body to the other side, but it never touched any vital organ. That is the liver, the lungs, and even the GIT. So we are suspecting it's probably a flesh wound.
But if this animal is not treated, it will die?
Yes, of course. With the pictures we've seen some pus coming from the wounds, and this pus is finally going to cause what we call septicemia.
Yes.
It is a bacterial toxicity, which finally will definitely kill this animal.
A few years ago, the international ban on trade in ivory was partially lifted
and ivory stocks from southern Africa were sold to China. That seems to have whetted the appetite of millions of ivory consumers there and created a massive new demand for it. Now, elephants like Atiki are paying for it with their lives.
That was unbelievable. He got up and ran straight for one of the cars, tried to toss it. Everyone was running helter-skelter, and he went after a few people. They all jumped in cars, and the cars have all taken off. Now he's wandering around in the bush.
KWS! Woo!
Hey! Well done, well done! Fantastic! Champions!
The resulting rise in ivory prices is now fueling the killing of elephants right across Africa and Asia. And if it wasn't for our presence here this weekend, the shooting of 3 elephants would have gone unnoticed. It's anyone's guess how many more have already died.